Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
We thank God for what He did here on Friday night when we visited the wicked and their wickedness. When we dealt with the wicked and their wickedness. And we thank the Lord for how He fought for us. But what happens after the wicked and their wickedness have been destroyed? What happens next? That's what we're going to talk about today. Because one, there's a reason why the wicked are doing what they are doing. There's a reason why they deploy the instruments of wickedness. It's to stop a lot of things. And so, when their wickedness is dismantled, so many things will begin to happen immediately. So many things will begin to happen. That's the impact. That's the effect. It reminds me of a particular brother we prayed with some times ago. And this brother was into business. The line of business he was doing was the type that everybody wanted him, because he was helping businesses to raise money. He could walk into banks for you, speak to the bank, and the bank will give you line of credit for your business. And you will use it to upscale your business. So that's the kind of business he was doing, and he was very, very good at it. Very, very good at it. But suddenly, everything just stopped. Nobody was calling him again. Nobody was contacting him again. Nobody was asking him whether he do anything again for months and years before he now came to me. So when he came to me, we started prayers. And the person that manifested was his ex-wife. They left each other. And the so-called ex-wife is a medical doctor here in London. And this ex-wife manifested and said, he will never amount to anything. I said, what is the problem? We struggled and struggled in prayer. And she said that she took him somewhere and they gave him a green water to drink. And as long as that green water is inside him, he will never achieve anything in life. And that day we battled, and I made sure he vomited all the green water. Immediately he vomited everything, and the whole deliverance finished. He went home. Before he got home, his phone started ringing. From everywhere, from all over the world, from Saudi Arabia, from Nigeria, from everywhere. Phone started to ring. He screamed, he called me, said, Pastor, my phone has started to ring again. Oh. People that seem as if they've forgotten him, suddenly they just remembered him. That is what happens when wickedness is dismantled. The doors will open suddenly. It will be as if the person was hidden away before, and suddenly you just come out of the limelight. So that's what happened when wickedness is dismantled. And thank God for what He did for us on Friday night here, when He dismantled the wickedness from our lives. The result that we follow immediately, the avalanche of blessings. And that's why I'm talking to you on what I call the blessings of destroying wickedness. The blessings of destroying wickedness. Look at Psalm 7. Psalm 7 in verse 9. He said, all the ways of the wicked come to an end. Do you see that? He said, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Now, when the wickedness of the wicked comes to an end, what happens next? That's a good question you should always ask. It's not just to pray and go away. What happens next? Look at it in that same place. Look at it. Because he said, well, let it come to an end. He now put colon. He put colon. That is to give explanation, to expatiate more. What will happen when the wickedness comes to an end? He said, but establish the just. Do you see that? The moment the wickedness of the wicked comes to an end, the righteous, the just, the children of God, they will be established. The powers that have sworn that you can never be established in life, the moment they are dismantled, you will be established. He said, let the righteous be established. Let the just be established. He now said, for the righteous God tried the heart and the reins. So that is the result. That is what happens when the wicked and their wickedness comes to an end. When they are dismantled, when they are destroyed, when they are removed, immediately you will see every area of your life begin to receive divine establishment. God will begin to settle every area of your life one after the other, because the enemies have been removed. You remember the place we read on Friday night here, brethren, from Numbers chapter 16, about Korah and his group, Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and their camp, the wicked group. And you saw what Jehovah God did to them. For Korah, the three of them, the ringleaders, he made the earth to open and swallow them alive, and the earth closed up. The 250 that they are their managers, those ones were roasted with fire. And then their footmen and their messengers, those ones, plague consumed 14,000 of them, 700. So after that event, after wiping out the wicked from the congregation like that, brethren, look at what happened the following day. In chapter 17, immediately the wicked has been deleted from the congregation. Look at what followed in chapter 17. Because that thing happened in chapter 16. Chapter 17, the following morning. Look at verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and take of every one of them a rod, according to the house of their fathers. Of all their princes, according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write thou every man's name upon his rod. And thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi. For one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet with you. And it shall come to pass that the man's rod, whom I shall choose, shall blossom. And I will make to do what? To cease, to stop. I will make wickedness to cease, to stop. All those murmuring of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, for each prince one, according to their father's houses, even 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron was among their rods. And Moses laid up the rod before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. And it came to pass that on the morrow, just overnight, ordinary rod, they wrote their names on it, put it in the temple of God, and left it overnight. On the morrow, Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and brought forth buds, and bloomed blossoms, and yielded almond overnight. Just an ordinary rod. Verse 9. And Moses brought out all the rod from before the Lord unto all the children of Israel. And they looked, and took every man his rod. Everybody collected their rod. And the Lord said unto Moses, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels, against the wicked. He said, keep that rod, so that they will see that I am the one dealing with them here. And thou shalt quite take away their murmuring from me, that they die not. Verse 11. And Moses did so, as the Lord commanded him. And so did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, behold, we die. Now, do you see what has happened here the following morning? Do you see that the whole congregation experienced a miracle? They experienced a miracle. They saw the presence of God. They experienced the power of God. The rod, ordinary rod, brought forth flour, brought forth everything, leaves and everything, and brought forth almond. They experienced raw miracle. And it was because the wicked have been cut off. And the rest of them that have the mind towards wickedness, they are not on the side of wicked, they are not on the side of righteous, they are standing in between. Look at what they are saying. They say, behold, we perish, we die, we perish. Verse 13. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of God shall die, shall be consumed with dying. Do you see that for the first time they feared God? That's the result they got from that thing. When God shows forth his power and destroy the wicked out of your life, the other ones that are not totally enemy, but they are not friends, they don't know where they stand, whether to touch you, whether to leave you, they are not making up their mind yet. They will fear. They will fear. So you can see what is happening here, that each time God destroys the wicked and their wickedness, things will begin to happen. Blessings will begin to manifest. Breakthroughs will begin to happen. When the wicked and their wickedness, when they cease, when they stop, great relief will come to the children of God. On Friday, I will show you the scripture that said that they made the children of God to cry and weep and do all those things. When they are cut off, brethren, the crying will stop now. The weeping will stop. There will be no such things anymore. What will be left is just rejoicing. Look at it in Job chapter 3. Job chapter 3. Look at verse 17. Job 3 verse 17. He said, dear, the wicked cease from troubling. They stop from troubling you. After what happened here last Friday night, when they are cut off, when they are destroyed, they stop troubling you. That's the result. He said the wicked will cease from troubling. And dear, look at the things that the moment they stop troubling you, the moment they stop attacking you, look at what will begin to happen. He said, dear, the weary be what? Be at rest. Why weary? Because they wear the people of God out. They wear the children of God out. You will pray and pray and pray. You will fast and fast, and it will be as if God doesn't answer prayers. As if God is not hearing your cry. As if God is not interested in your case. He said it will get to a point, because of this wicked and their wickedness, the people of God will become weary and tired. He said immediately the wicked and their wickedness are cut off. He said the weary will be at rest. They will be at rest. That's the result. That's the blessing that we follow. They will be at rest. Verse 18. He said, there the prisoners rest. The prisoners rest. Do you know that that's what the wicked they do? That's the whole agenda of wickedness. They take people captive. They make people prisoners. They take destinies captive. So that person will be bound and be chained down. Not that you did anything to them, oh brethren. Not that you offended or hurt anybody. Oh. I was watching this something yesterday that happened in Nigeria. All these social media people, that people will run to them, they will go and settle cases and so on. And then this social media carried this lady. The lady went to this social influencer and they went to this woman's house. And when they got to the woman's house, the woman said, do you know me? This one that came with the social media person said, do you know? He said, I don't know you. He said, we attend the same church. He said, I don't think I've seen you before. I don't know you very well. So the woman now said, the lady came for confession. He said, which kind of confession? So they now asked the woman, where is your husband? He said, the husband is dead. Where is your son? The son is dead. So the woman had only one son, 2 daughters. And the husband dead, the son dead. Only her and the 2 daughters remain. So what is the confession? The woman said, I will do some things in the church. And so I bound you and your family. That person you don't know. He said, I'm the one that killed your husband, killed your son. I'm the one that behind all your trouble inside the church. The woman doesn't know whether the social media person is blocking her, whether to get something, whether to commit murder there immediately. He said, do you know what you have put us through? Do you know what you have put us through? What did we do to you? No offense. When we are talking about wickedness, because we don't see it with physical eye, we don't understand what it is. We don't understand. No reason. This woman doesn't even know how well. The only offense that woman committed is to go to the same church with her. To come across her in the church. Brother, close your eyes. You that wicked man. You that wicked woman. That I don't know you from anywhere. I only met you in the church. And you became my problem. As the Lord God of heaven liveth. Die! In Jesus' Then we pray. So now, let's continue our message. Look at that innocent woman and her family. How a wicked soul from the pit of hell turned their family upside down, devastated their lives. The young girl, there was something the mother was saying. He said that everybody that will ever come and say they want to marry her, is that first day they come, they will not come back again. That's the operation of wickedness. And look at what the Bible said. He said, there the prisoners, they are at rest. For the first time they will rest. They will rest. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. I told you, when the wicked and their wickedness are cut off, when they are destroyed, look at the blessing that will begin to happen. In verse 19, the small and the great are there, and the servant is free from his master. For the first time you will see freedom. Free from wicked masters. And the painful thing, if you see this woman that turned people's life upside down, see how miserable and wretched she's looking. Not that life is good for her. Verse 20. Wherefore is life given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter in soul. Light will begin to come. New thing will begin to happen. Verse 21. Which long for death, but it cometh not. That's what the impact of wickedness. People will begin to think of suicide. People will begin to contemplate whether they should even die and leave all this nonsense and go away. That's the impact. He said that they long for death and they dig for it more than they dig for the treasures. So, but immediately the wicked and their wickedness are destroyed, you see that light, fresh air will begin to blow. Psalm 68, look at verse 1. Say, let God arise. Let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. Verse 2, as smoke is driven away, so drive them away, as wax melted before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. So immediately this happens. And the wicked, they melt away like the wax from the presence of the Lord. Verse 3, look at what will begin to happen. Look at the result. That's why I told you that there's a blessing for destroying the wicked. There's a blessing for destroying wickedness. Verse 3 says, immediately they perish like wax, but let the righteous be glad. Gladness will come. Happiness will come. Let them rejoice before God. Let them exceedingly rejoice. The righteous will begin to rejoice before the Lord. Exceedingly. Verse 4. Sing unto God. Sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth upon the heaven by his name, Jah, and rejoice before him. That's when you see the children of God. Well, it's not this one we say, let's do praise and worship. You don't even know where your mind is not even there. That's when you see people will bring out their heart and appreciate God, worship God truly. Because wickedness has come to an end. Verse 5. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains. When he destroy wickedness, those who are bound with chains, begin to bring them out, begin to set them free. But the rebellious dwell in the dry land. Verse 8. The earth shook. The heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of God, the God of Israel. Thou, O God, did send a plentiful rain. Do you know what that means? Blessing. Blessing. He said, God sent plentiful rain, whereby thou didst confirm thy inheritance when it was weary. When the people of God become so weary, and the wicked are cut off, God will send rain that will strengthen them, that will raise his children up again. Verse 10. Thy congregation has dwelt therein. Thou, O God, hast prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Verse 19. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loadeth us with benefit. Then God will begin to bless his children daily. God will begin to load his children with benefit and blessings daily. Because the wicked have been cut off. Proverbs 11, look at verse 8. He says, the righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. Verse 10. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, what did he say happens? There's shouting of joy when the wicked perish, together with their wickedness. There's shouting of joy. Verse 11. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. So the moment the wicked are cut off, you will see that all their impasse will go with them. All their wickedness will go with them. Psalm 58. Psalm 58, look at verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart you walk wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hand in the earth. Verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. I told you on Friday that they did not start the wickedness the day they met you. Some of them from the womb, they were born wicked. They were wicked souls from the womb. He said the wicked are estranged. He said they started their journey from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. They start with speaking lies, even as little children. Verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of a charmer, charming never so wisely. Verse 6. Break their teeth, O God. Why is it that Old Testament saints, they understand this thing more than New Testament saints? Do you see the kind of prayers David was praying here? He said, at least, Lord, if there's nothing, at least break their teeth. He said, break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lion, that is the teeth of wickedness. The teeth of wickedness, which is their capability. O Lord, verse 7, let them melt away as water which run continually. When he bended his bow to shoot his arrow, let them be as cut in pieces. Wasn't that what we were doing here on Friday night? He said, as they are planning their wickedness, bending to hide, to attack, to do anything, he said, something let them be cut in pieces. Verse 8. He said, as a snail which melted, let every one of them pass away. He said, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Verse 9. Before your pot can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a wild wind, both living and in wrath. Verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice. Do you see it? These are people that understood what we are talking about. He said, when the wicked, when they melt away like that, and they perish like that, and they cease to exist, he said there's something that will happen to the righteous. He said the righteous shall rejoice. When he seeth the vengeance, he shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Verse 11. So that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a God that judgeth the earth. Do you remember the case of Job? Because we read it also last Friday. You remember the case of Job? How Satan himself, that's the master of wickedness, how Satan himself came to God and pressured God until God allowed him to touch Job. He destroyed the businesses of Job, destroyed his children, destroyed his health, destroyed everything in the life of Job. The only thing that God did not allow him to take his life. Destroyed everything completely. Everything. And do you know, the moment Jehovah God stepped in and stopped that wickedness, look at the result in the life of Job. Job 42. Look at the result. I'm so showing you all these things so that you yourself will be in anticipation. You will be ready for the great things that are going to begin to happen in your life now. Because Jehovah God has cut off all the wicked and their wickedness from your life. Job 42, look at verse 7. And it was so that after the Lord has spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee. Those are the friends of Job. Eliphaz and his two friends, those ones that thought that claimed to be friends of Job. If you have friends like Eliphaz and the other two, you don't need any enemy again. Because there's a way Job described them. He said they are miserable comforters. When you have such people around you, because there were no help at all. The only thing they did was that they presented themselves instrument unto Satan to use their mouth against Job. And you know they are friends like that. They are family members like that. That they are direct instrument of Satan. That Satan is using to reach you. So Jehovah God, look at what God told him. He said, my wrath is kindled against thee and against thy two friends. For ye have not spoken of me the things that is right, as my servant Job had. Therefore, take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer for yourself a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly. That you have not spoken of me the things which is right, like my servant Job. Verse 9. So Eliphaz, the Temanite and Bildad, the Shuhite, and Zophar, the Naamanite, went and did according as the Lord commanded them. The Lord also accepted Job. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job. When wickedness is cut off, this is what God does. He will turn your captivity immediately. He will terminate every captivity in your life. He said he turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friend. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. All those things the enemy thought they have stolen from you, you will recover them twice. He said the Lord gave him twice. Verse 11, then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord has brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and everyone an earring of gold. Verse 12, look at the blessing that followed. So the Lord blessed the later end of Job more than his beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep before it was 7, and 6,000 camels before it was 3, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, it was half of it before, and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters. 7 sons and 3 daughters. And he called the name of the verse 14, he called the name of the first Jemimah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Karihapuk. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. After this lived Job 140 years. The Lord rewarded him for the lost time, the time that was wasted. That's the blessing that follows when wickedness is cut off. You will recover all the wasted years. You will recover all the wasted time. The Lord will restore everything twice, double unto you. And his sons, even 4 generations. He sought his children 4 generations. Verse 17. So Job died, being an old and full of days. And now, when these things happen, what do you think will be happening in the life of Job? Happiness, joy, celebration, fulfillment, accomplishment, and no wonder they gave him a whole book in the Bible. No wonder. And who is going to regret this at last? The wicked. The wicked. And that's the prayer we are going to pray here now. That all the wicked that made the mistake to touch you, they will regret it forever. Close your eyes and begin to talk to the Lord. Begin to talk to the Lord. Bless the name of the Lord first of all for what he did for you here on Friday night. For all the wicked that the Lord has cut off already. Gualo que ukane falula shamera dove di kalikazoya. La kura le kapotas ke vale madwani yabadugedes ki wakanitali wa jilare.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person. at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hilary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.